Okay, today we'll see one more program on select statement. So let's say there is a table. So this is the table, for example. So G employee is the table. So I want to write a program to select data from this G employee table and display output. So how many ways we can do that?
Select star from digit employee.
Select star from Z employee.
Into table.
So what does it mean?
Star means alt. All fields.
All fields. That means employee ID, employee name, phone number, email ID, and city. So I want to select all fields and multiple records. This is record, right?
Yes.
This is record. I want to select records of all the fields. Okay. Here we use what is the relevant data object for this?
Into internal
For
table.
this we have to use internal table, into table, internal table, and with relevant where condition. To filter the records, what we need to use? So in
Where
the Z
condition.
employee table, we might have 100 records. But if you want to select only selected record, a particular record, what you need to use? You need to use where condition, where employee ID equal to so and so, or if you want to select data by city, you have to pass where city equal to some city name. If you want to select employees by phone number, you need to pass in where condition where phone equal to the employee phone number, right? Records are depends on your where condition. You may you might get only single record or you might get multiple records. It's all depends on the where condition. Let's assume. So this is the key field. Employee ID is the key field here. Key means primary key. Okay. So when you write select statement on employee ID, select star from Z employee into internal table where employee ID equal to employee number. How many records you will get here?
2.
Employee ID, if you pass employee ID in where condition, you will get only one record because employee ID is the primary key. Okay. If you search by employee ID, you will get only single record. If you search by city, you may get more than one record because many employees are from same city.
Same city.
If you search by email ID, how many records you'll get?
One.
One record, because email ID also unique, right?
Yes.
There is no duplicate email IDs. So how, if you search by phone number, how many records you'll get?
One.
One record. One record. Because mobile number is also unique, right?
Unique ID.
Unique. You cannot find duplicate phone numbers. Okay, every person have their own phone number. If you search by employee name, how many records you'll get?
Multiple record.
Multiple. Because same like multiple persons might have same name, right?
Yes.
We introduce one more select statement. So what does it mean? Select single star from. What does it mean?
Single
How to select single field.
field.
So what I am saying here, select single star. I want only a single record, a particular record with all the fields. That record should contain all the fields. Employee ID, employee name, phone number and email ID, city. But I don't
Single.
want to select multiple records. I want a particular single record, right? Very specific record. I want a very specific record. You know what you are expecting, right? In that case, where condition is mandatory here. Where condition is mandatory. Why? What is the use of where condition? You need to specify a particular record which you are expecting. Okay?
Filtering the data.
Yeah, filtering the data. Even see, what is the use of select single?
Have to select single field in total record.
Single field or single record?
Single record.
What is field? Field is this employee ID, employee name, phone number. These are all fields.
Fields.
That this is record. The complete set is record. Star means you want to select all the fields. All the fields of the table. Clear? What is select single means? A specific record. A specific record. Select star means you might get multiple records based on the where condition. But here in select single, you are saying that I want only that record. I want only that specific record. It is available. You are not asking for some record. Okay, please give me some record which is available in the table. You are asking for a specific record. I want only that record. It is available. Select it. That means mostly we pass primary key as a condition here. In where condition, mostly we pass primary key fields when we are using select single. Because if you pass employee name, you might get multiple records. There is a confusion, right? I am trying to find a single record, but there are multiple records in the table. Which one I should choose?
Employee.
If you pass employee name, there might be multiple records with the same employee name. So we are not specifying a proper condition here. So I am asking for a single record, but I am not specifying a proper where condition. So that is not a valid case. So when you are using select single, you should use primary key in the where condition. That's why you can get only a valid single record, a specific single record, because by employee ID you can find only one record, right, for each employee ID. Is it correct or not? When you
Yes,
search by
sir.
employee
You can
ID,
find single
you
record
can
only.
find only single record for each employee,
Single record.
because employee ID is the primary key. Here what is the data object we have to use when we are using select single? Work area.
Where? Okay.
Okay. So you should write a where condition on a primary key field. What is the primary key field for this table? Employee ID,
Employed.
right? Okay. So this statement is to select a specific record from the table. Okay. Now, so what does this mean?
Multiple records.
Hmm. So I'm not using star here. I'm using field names, employee ID, phone number, and city. What is the meaning of this?
Select.
You can use internal tab.
I'm selecting only specific fields, not all the fields. I'm not selecting all the fields. If I am using select star, what does that mean? I want to select all the fields, employee ID, employee name, phone number, and email ID, city in that record. Here what I am saying, I want only employee ID,
Phone number.
phone number, and city. I don't want the rest of the fields. The record should contains only these fields, these three fields. I don't want all the fields. So here also we use internal table. What does this mean?
Select a single record.
The only specific fields. So I'm selecting a single record. But that record should contains only these three fields: employee ID, phone number, and city, not all the fields. I don't want rest of the data. Here also use work area. What is the difference? When you are using select star, you are selecting all the fields from the table. When you are mentioning these fields, specific fields, You are selecting only required fields from the table. Okay. I'll tell you a simple example. When you are using select star, when you are using select star from into table, so what is the meaning of it? Let's say you are going to a shopping mall. You are asking for show me some shirts. So I'll choose whatever the shirt I like. Okay, and they'll show you 10 shirts and you will select one. That is select star from, right? They'll show you 10 or 15 shirts and you will select whatever you like from those 10 or 15. But what is select single? You go to the shopping mall and asking for a specific color shirt. I want a red color shirt with size 32 and it should be full sleeves, right? That exact shirt is there, you'll select it. Otherwise, you won't. That is select single, right? If that exact match is available, you're going to select. Otherwise, you're not going to select. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So why where condition is very important here. You have to provide that exact condition. Okay. What is mandatory thing in select single? You should use
Yes.
primary key field in the where condition. Clear? Primary key field is very important here because you need to mention, right, what is the record you are looking for, exact record you are looking for. Clear? Now let's see how we write program to select only specific fields. Yesterday we have written programs to select all the fields from the table using select star. Okay. Now first we'll write select statement using. Let me check the tables first. So these are very important. Every day you have to work with these select statements in your projects. Okay. Tables are not available. Let me create one table.
Already created
What is the name?
ZHNR.
Okay.
That one.
Okay. So we have 7 records in it. So why we have this leading zeros? Why we have this leading zeros in student Aadhaar ID field?
Number of length.
Because this is num-c, right? The data type of this thing is num-c, number type. For all the empty spaces, it will fill with zeros. Okay. Okay. Now let's select. First, we'll see select star, how it will work. Okay. I'll go by state. Okay. I'll use state as my where condition. First, we'll see select star from, what is the table name? CHNR underscore student. Into what?
Demi select. So
To table.
At the rate of data.
Internal table name, that is IT underscore
Data student.
student. I'm not going to use any filter condition here. So there is no where condition. Is it going to work now?
Can't create the data, sir.
What is it?
Internal table or work area we can't create it, sir.
We did not create the internal table. So we have to define the internal table, right?
Yes, sir.
First we have to define the internal table. So IT underscore student is unknown because we did not define the internal table. Now tell me, what is the type of this internal table now?
Data internal table.
IT
Type?
Type.
Like standard table of
standard table of ZHNR DD.
XNR data.
It is working now. Now, if sy hyphen sub rc equal to 0, what does this means?
Success.
Select statement is successful. If you are able to select at least one record into this internal table, then what we need to do? We'll just display the output.
L/demo/output.
Demo output. Display.
Display.
IT student. Yes.
Date.
Okay. Activate it. So this is my output. I've selected all the fields and all the records because I did not use any where condition, right? That's why it selected all the records from the table. Clear?
Clear.
All the records from the table. If I use where condition, let's use a parameter.
Parameters. Data.
Yeah.
I'll take state as parameter. Okay. What is the type of this state? What is the type of this field state?
Character.
Check the data element. We have a data element, right? Copy the data element and use that as this data type. Type data element, right? What is otherwise? You need to use like this. Type C,
Length.
length 40. That is the type of state, right? But simply, you don't need to remember all those data types and lengths. just copy, just use your data element as reference type. Now, whatever the type you are using in this data element and domain, that will be assigned to this character. If you want to define a variable like this, data lv underscore state type
State.
data element. The previous programs we defined using predefined data types, character, numeric, etc. Now we don't need to use data types. If you know the field name, you can use that reference data element here. Okay, to define parameters, variables. Clear? How to
Yes.
pass where condition? Sorry, where? What is the field name? SS
Just
state. Okay.
state.
Yes. Yes.
State.
State equal
To
to
P state parameters.
p underscore state. Just break the select statement. Don't write in the same line. Okay. In debugging, you can't see all the lines if you write in a single line. Check the syntax. So whenever you define parameter, what is the mandatory thing? You need to provide text
Three.
elements and selection
elements.
text. You need to maintain the selection text. Activate the program. Okay, it is very slow. Okay, we'll use different server, but that is very slow. Go back. Now execute it. We'll enter AP. You have AP in the table, right? Execute. So we're going to get only 3 records which are from state Andhra Pradesh with all the fields. Observe, with all the fields. We have all the fields in this record, right? Because we are using select star here. Is it clear?
Yeah.
Now let's create one more program. I'm creating one more program. Okay. Now I want to select only required fields. I don't want all the fields from this table. I want only student ID, student state, and his rank. I want only these 3 fields. I don't want the rest of the fields. Okay? How will I select it? Select which one I want? Student ID, student state, and rank. I'm not using select star now. From this table, into table. Whenever you are selecting multiple fields, when you are using select, you should use table, into table, internal table name. Where equal to p underscore state. We need to define that parameter. This is data element, right? So did we define internal table? Did we define
No,
internal
sir.
table? No, right? Now let's define how to define internal table. Standard table of.
And a table of
Now tell me, is this
Internal
going to
table
work?
student. Internal table student. Yes, is missing.
Now is this going to work?
Yes.
This is going to work. So let's see the output then. Activate the program. Now execute. I did not create the text element. Now tell me the result. Is it a proper output? In student ID, I have state. In student ID, I have state AP. In student name, I have some unknown value, and remaining are all blank. In MA entity, client number, I have student ID. Is it a proper output?
No.
No, right? Why? We are selecting only 3 fields and define the internal table with the type of database table name. So how it will create the internal table based on in the same structure, with the same structure of this database table. But I am selecting only 3 fields. So first field in the first field, so SID will be placed in the first field of the internal table. State will be placed in the second field of the internal table. What is the second field of the internal table? That is student name. What is the third field of S rank? Student rank will be placed in village. If I take this table reference, right? So when we are selecting only specific fields, we should not use a complete table reference. Instead of that, what we need to use? We need to use type structures. That is types
Now,
begin of ty underscore std
student.
and list out the fields what you need. So I want student ID, I want state and rank. Type field name. You already know this. You have already created a program with the type structures, but we populated data locally. Now we are populating data from select statement. End of ty underscore std. Now instead of table name, use our type structure. Okay. Now let's see the output. Is it clear how we define the internal table when we are selecting only selected fields? With the help of type structures, you have to list out the fields what you are selecting from the table in the type structure and use the same fields in your select statement. Order should be same here. You should follow the same order. Okay, clear? Guys, is it clear or confusing?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Confusing?
no conflict.
Now I got only 3 fields. Whatever the fields I want, I got with the multiple records. Student ID 100, state, rank. This is proper output, right?
So,
So if you need to select only required fields, you should define type structure and write your select statement. Okay? Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
I will create one more program. Now we'll see how select single will work.